Carl, I'm sorry. Please yell at me later.
Carl, that's honestly good because we had that whole technical
Yeah.
difficulties in the
It'll be
middle, so
fine. No,
he would have
no
had to
one's
edit
even gonna
anyway.
know. No one's
He
even
would have
gonna
had to
know.
edit anyway. It's
Who's
fine.
gonna
We're
know?
good. I'm ready. No one's gonna know.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 9 of the Galar Goodbye Gauntlet. Today I have none other than Jay with me. What's going on, my dude?
What's up, everyone? I didn't threaten legal action to get on the channel this time. I'm happy to be here, though.
So,
Thanks for having me.
this is episode 9, but we're playing series 10 because we had the weird, awkward, dupe format of 7 and 9. And then next week will be episode 10, but it's series 12. It makes sense if you don't think about it. No, yes.
Yeah,
8 and
I'm
11 are the
about it.
same, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking about it a little bit too much, and it's not making sense. So just don't think about it. You're gonna do fine.
It'll be great. I don't know what everyone's worried about. So
Numbers are hard.
This is the only non-Dynamax format in Sword and Shield's history. It also is a restricted format, but not because you only get one. It's really weird. This format is really, really weird.
Yeah, and that's what I liked so much about it when Series 10 was announced. I started playing in Sword and Shield era, as a lot of people really kind of have.
Mm-hmm.
And Dynamax was this really crazy mechanic to me that kind of just was oh my gosh, all this stuff is happening, things are so fast. And this was a really, really nice change of pace coming from Series 7, or Series 9, which was also just Series 7. And I really was interested in so many of the different things that you could do in this format, a lot of the new Pokemon that became actually viable because they weren't bogged down by their inability to max,
Mm-hmm.
or Dynamax just being this overwhelming mechanic that kind of pushed them out. It felt like more things were viable. I used an Eternatus team throughout pretty much the entirety of Series 10, and I managed to slot Cantonian Articuno onto that team and actually have it be really good, surprisingly, in a format that was still dominated by Zacian. So
Which,
it's
just absurd to even think about. Just hey, I die to anything you do to me, but it'll be okay. Not everyone's gonna play Zacian, right? It'll be fine.
Not when you have Babiri Berry on it, which I ran for a little bit. But yeah, it was mainly a Kyogre check. My team had a 100% win rate against Kyogre. I built my team to literally counter Tornogre. I was all right, we're gonna Meteor Beam the Tornadus when it's not Sash, and instead of pressing Grassy Glide with Rillaboom, I'm gonna press Wood Hammer, because Serena was a thing too.
Yeah,
Serena was really popular. And Stack Attacka was super popular, and Xerneas was back. And playing non-max for the first time was really, really fun for me, and I really enjoyed this format, which is why I wanted to play it again.
What's really interesting is you finally get to see the Galar Pokemon without Dynamax and really get to see what's viable there. And I think the big one that continues to really impress people is Rillaboom and Urshifu and Regieleki. And I feel like I've talked about specifically Eleki and Rillaboom. I mean Eleki and Urshifu for the last several episodes now. It's just but those three, especially together, it just puts on so much offensive pressure so quickly.
Yeah, they really do. You have speed, you have priority, you have critical hits, you have hitting through protect. They're just they really are kind of monsters. And this was our first format where Rapid Strike Urshifu was the preferred one over Single Strike. The water one was more popular. And that was a really cool thing. We saw the development of Mystic Water bulky Urshifu, which I thought was really, really sick. I kind of always see it as a Sash Pokemon, and now we have people making it bulky, and it's surviving hits, and it's dealing so much damage still because it has a Mystic Water. And yeah, those Galar Pokemon really ran the format. You had Spike Myth is a very popular thing right now, and that core of Urshifu, Aleki, Ensign, Rillaboom is extremely popular over there, and it was just as popular over here. You have like the fake out cycling, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was just a completely different game from from the max formats. It was just a lot to learn. It was one of my best formats too. I peaked at like 150 on the ladder on on cart, which was really cool. I played Alex twice and beat them twice,
That's sweet.
which was yeah, that was a lot of fun. Watching their reactions on stream. I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't know what he was saying, but he didn't seem happy about losing to me. But I was happy, and like it was cool too because I used the same team throughout the entirety of the series and like really honed in and developed it. And in the first one, I just barely squeaked by beating him in like a really close battle that almost went to timer. Um, but then in the second one, I just wiped the floor with him, and he was using a different team, so I had a better matchup into the second one. But like, it really made me feel good knowing that I like really progressed this team and built on it, and got so comfortable to the point to where um I was able to play really well against top players, and that's why I'm not using that team today,
Hell yeah!
because
Because why play against why be prepped for something you're good with when you're not playing the top players, right? It'll be
that's
fine.
not what I was saying. That's not at all what I was saying. Don't put words in my mouth. No, but what I'm saying is I was developing that team for so long, and I was like, I want to do something like different and try something new. And um, I like I can't stay with the same team for like more than a couple of days now.
Dude,
'Cause
I am very much the same way, and this was like the first series where I'm just like, I'm gonna grind a team forever. This entire series I played Eternatus, but contrary to that, I played this super bulky like cosmic power version, whereas you're just like beating people up with meteor beam. I'm just like, let's slow this game down to a literal like slog. And like I remember I was watching them the other day because I was looking for the team. The number of games that I shared where I'm just like, oh, there's a Kartana on the other side. I can't touch it, but they're not ever going to kill me.
it's fine. I'll beat them in the end game.
Oh,
We'll take
there's a
the timer.
Sacred Sword Zacian? Okay.
All
Like,
right, nice. Your resisted hit into my poison type is really doing a ton of damage here. You're
it
ignoring my
does more.
defense.
It does more than Behemoth Blade when I'm at +6.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Not by a lot,
But by a little bit at least.
but yeah, this team I am super excited for. I have kind of reworked it a little bit. And we've kind of talked about it a little bit going into this. There will be definitely not a Chansey Shuckle on your team on your screen today.
Yeah, after giving me an aneurysm. Literally ruined my whole morning.
You're welcome. It was really easy to do.
He prefaced this battle saying, "Listen, if you rage quit during it, don't blame me." And I just shrunk.
I was like, please don't. It's too early for this.
It really is. I can't deal with this right now.
It'll be fine, Jay. Just let it happen. It'll be fine.
No,
Nothing bad will happen.
I had to hawk the Discord call for like 10 minutes to make sure he wasn't going and getting a Chansey Shuckle.
Oh, this is gonna be a really fun set. I'm very excited to get to it, and unless you have anything else you want to add, I'm ready to get to it, man.
I'm ready to go. Let's game.
Cool. So as we kind of talked about in the call, I am going to be playing the Stall Eternus team that I have so lovingly worked on for this series. I do have a new change to the team. I am playing Bronzong today over. I believe the last team I played was Celesteela in that slot. And I think adding Bronzong is actually really interesting to this team. It gives you a ground immunity to a team that's already kind of weak to it. Ooh, there's an Araquanid. That's sick. Yeah, I actually really like this. This is cool. So Raikou is able to outspeed Shadow Rider. Ensign also kind of bodies it. in a way that like Eternatus kind of just dies. Like Bronzong Eternatus is pretty bad here if he's gonna go all in on this Shadow Rider. But like I do need to kind of be like mindful of his Trick Room mode here with Araquanid and Indeedee. That is kind of scary. But I think I like Incin Raikou. I'm kind of fine if Trick Room goes up. I think Quagsire P2 is probably okay here in the back. And like I feel like it's really weird to say Eternatus isn't good just because of Shadow Rider, but that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. This might be something that we like reevaluate for game 2, but I'm just really not feeling it here. Yeah, let's do it. I think this is fine. Let's turn that down so my mic isn't picking it up, which I think it might have. Yeah, oh well. Oopsies. Alright, so it is Indeedee, Cali Shadow here. So I actually feel pretty confident with my lead. I really like just going for Snarl here with Raikou, get that stat drop, and then going for like a Darkest Lariat into the Shadow Rider as well. Indeedee Meow, of course, can't redirect, so I'm fine with this. This Intimidate obviously doesn't mean anything on the field with multiple Psychic types that are, you know, special attackers. So I do like Snarl, and I think just going for Darkest Lariat into Indeedee this turn is fine. I could see Calyrex protecting just to scout out what's going on. But yeah, this seems like the kind of lead that Jay really wants to put on here. It lines up pretty well against a lot of my stuff. It's like specifically against this lead that is kind of a problem. Alright, he's gonna bring out his own Incin, which is fine. Gonna intimidate mine, which is whatever. Of course, inner focus on the Raikou means I don't really care. I'm gonna do a little bit to the Indeedee here. This could be just a expanding force coming out from it to do some chip into Raikou. Yep. So let's do a chunk. Yeah, I would classify that as a chunk. It's really good. Picking up that KO on Indeedee, I think, is really good for us. So depending on what comes out here, it is going to be Araquanid. I think going for a Parting Shot into that could be fine. I am locked into Snarl, which is unfortunate, so I think just hard swapping here to Quagsire is pretty okay. And then going for a Parting Shot into the Araquanid is fine. I'm not really concerned about anything this Incin has going on. Quagsire kind of bodies it. If we can get like a Yawn off into this Araquanid, I feel good about my life. And I think I need to preserve Raikou just in the off chance of like Cali Shadow in the back. Yeah, resisted hit, not gonna do a lot. Get our Parting Shot off. This is most likely like a liquidation into the Incin slot, so I think just going into P2 here is good. Like, we have a lot of really good anti-Cali Shadow tech on this team. Oh, and we traced the Intimidate too as well. So now suddenly this Araquanid went from fine to -2 in one turn. Perfect. Nice crit. Lovely. Love that. That's really unfortunate. So now, we could go for high horsepower into the Ensign. It could be Shuka. We could also just go for a Yawn into it. I can see the Araquanid swapping out, so I think this is actually fine. I'm going to go for a recover here. I think if P2 goes down, it's whatever. I'm not really, like, overly concerned about it. I don't think I outspeed Ensign here with P2. I know I'm not min speed, but... Oh, hell yeah. Good job, P2. Good job. So now Araquanid almost 100% wants to swap out here. That's much more acceptable damage. So now I feel pretty okay going for a high horsepower into the Ensign. I want to find out a little more information about it. I could go for Trick Room just to try to bait out the like in case Cali Shadow does come out here. But I think if Cali Shadow comes out, it's kind of whatever. I think I just want another recover up. Yeah, this is fine. Could have Shadow Balled that slot as well. Put them down to like Sash if they are. Could be Life Orb as well. Okay, there's the parting shot into P2. So P2 is basically going to go back to full HP here. I am at -1 special attack, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Yeah, that's a good HP. And now, I really like the idea of swapping Quagsire out into Ensign. I just kind of want to Shadow Ball this Calyrex here. Could be Expanding Force coming out this turn, which is swapping to Ensign is good. Alright, just hard swapping back into Ensign as well is also fine. I'm going to get my Intimidate off into his, which is good. Because he swapped first. And this is going pretty okay. This is exactly what we want to do. It's just like, kind of annoy him, sit around, just really drag out this game as long as possible. Get a lot of incidental advantage here. It's like relative chip. That's all we're doing right now. There's a liquidation into P2, but you're still at -1, so I'll take it. So we could parting shot the Araquanid. We could also just go for fake out this turn. Could also see fake out into my Ensign plus liquidation that slot. So I think swapping to Quagsire here is fine. And I'm just going to go for another recover. Just hard swapping Ensign here I think is pretty safe. This is a liquidation into that slot. I feel pretty okay. Yep. P2's basically back at full. There is a liquidation into the Quagsire. Ow. I think Quagsire underspeeds the Araquanid. I think Protect plus Trick Room here is good. I think setting up Trick Room here is actually pretty okay. Lets me get off a recover with Quagsire if need be. I think Araquanid might be Mystic Water Could be Choice Band as well. Okay, there comes the Snarl. P2 is now at -2, that's whatever. There's the Liquidation into Quag. Get a little more recovery here off of my lefties. Now I will recover here and swap into Ensign. Get an Intimidate off into the Araquanid. Put it to -2. Put his Ensign to -2 as well. So if he does go for like a Darkest Lariat or something, we're fine. Moment of truth. He is in fact slower. That's unfortunate. Quag does go down, but that's pretty okay, all actuality. As he just goes for a parting shot here. We could see a hard swap come out from the Calyrex next turn. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bring out Raikou here. And I'm going to Fake Out plus Volt Switch off of the Araquanid. Oh, does this make sense? Like, he doesn't want to give up Calyrex to my Darkest Lariat here from Ensign. Could see it also just protecting. Okay, this is good. This is exactly what we want. Show me not protect this turn. Dang it! Dang it, dang it, dang it. Is in fact not choice locked. That's fine. We're doing okay things here. Is now I can still go for a Volt Switch, and I'm going to just hard swap into P2. That read was really well played from him. Trace Intimidate. Dang. It's fine. That's not enough. It's not enough. Dang. Oh, I might have cost me this game. That one read. On a positive note, like, I do still have really good counters to the Cali Shadow. Problem is he has Snarl on Ensign, and I don't really have a good way of hitting it. Araquanid is now -3. Trick Room is over. Last turn of Trick Room. I think this is fine. I'm not in love with this. Plays around him like swapping this turn. Special defense drop. Never lucky. Just see a parting shot into Ensign. That's fine. He's just gonna hard swap Ensign into. Like, I mean, this has to be like expending force on Calyrex, but like, it just doesn't do anything. Alright, Trick Room is now over. feel like I can just ignore Araquanid at this point. I don't think he swaps it out this turn. If he does, like, targeting down this Calyrex is fine. It gives him potentially a free swap back, but... Man, Eternatus just bodies his Araquanid, which is really a shame because Calyrex is so good. Yep, this is fine. He's gonna give up Calyrex, it looks like. Just dink. That was a little more than a dink. Please stop that. Thanks to all the Intimidates, it's not even enough to KO. We do get the KO on the Calyrex, which is obviously very good for us. Problem is I'm not in a very good position now with P2. Because this Araquanid is really threatening. He does have access to fake out this turn. I could go for a parting shot into it. What does Water Bubble do? It doesn't even show me. That's really unfortunate. I know it can't be burnt. I think it reduces the damage done from fire attacks as well. I mean, this is still probably just my highest damage output. I'm gonna go for a recover. He should probably fake out my P2 and then like liquidate into that slot. I need this to like crit this turn. Yeah, not even close. We lost. That's unfortunate. Really well played. Preserving the information that Araquanid had access to protect for so long was really unfortunate. But like he just parting shots, or he just like Darkest Lariat plus liquidation into me and I lose. Alright, so game 2 here. Maybe I'm misevaluating Eternatus here. But over what? Maybe over Ensign? I actually think our lead was good. Getting to take the Indeedee out immediately was good. Getting to intimidate down the... Maybe it's over Quag. Maybe something like this. How good is Porygon here? Do I like Bronzong? Bronzong's not the worst. Pretty defensive. I can live hits from Araquanid. Problem is I don't line up well against Cali or Ensign that way. But I get to play the ally switch game, which I just don't think is worth it. Yeah, I think these four are good. I think leaving Quag at home is probably fine. Just bring bigger, better Quag. Eliki Ensign. Okay. His Ensign is faster than mine. We have established that. This could be like Electro Web this turn. I kind of like just scalding into the Ensign. Kind of like Snarl here. Unfortunately, I don't outpace Eliki. I'm just not fast enough. 157 makes me faster than Shadow Rider, but not faster than Eliki. Could just Volt Switch here. But what does that do for me? What does Volt Switch get me? I mean, I kind of want to swap into Eternatus anyway. We'll go for Scald. Plus just hard swap here. Really hoping this is just a double into that slot. Yep, fake out's pretty obvious. It's just a T-Bolt. That's fine. We eat that. No, 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 no. That's really, really bad. That's also not really good. Okay. Now what? We can go back into Ensign. And I guess we just start this. That Para's really unfortunate. Okay, Volt Switch off the Ensign. This might just be into Shadow Rider immediately. Yep, there is the Calyrex. If I can get this Cosmic Power off, I feel better. Burning Shot off into the Eternatus. I don't care about that. That is not what we're here for. Back into Eliki. Okay. I do get a Cosmic Power. That's good. And a little more recovery all around. So this turn, I like Parting Shot here. I think I want to go for a second Cosmic Power. Full switch off of Ensign. Not enough to knock me out. Probably enough to put me into Astral Barrage range, though. Probably back into Ensign. Yep. Yep, it is Astral Barrage. Because it's not expending force, the turn should live. Yep, by a mile. Which is really unfortunate because now he's +1. But I'm +2. I can go into Raikou this turn, go for a Snarl. I could also go into P2, try to set up a Trick Room. P2 actually looks pretty appealing here, because this lets me potentially set up Trick Room and go for Shadow Ball into the Calyrex. We do get the Intimidate, obviously. We can't trace as one. We'll go for Protect this turn. Okay, we do get the Protect off, that's good. Fake off into P2, that's fine. Alright, let's go again. Except this time I think we go for recover this turn. We should be able to live one as long as he doesn't crit. Oh, that's very good. So parting shot into the P2, also fine. What is your last? Or are we just going back into Calyrex? Okay. That removes his +1, so like, I mean, outside of crits, we're pretty okay. He has one Astral Barrage left outside of PP maxes, so even if he's maxed out, he has 2 more. Could be choice locked. I like attacking the Eliki this turn, going for another Cosmic Power. Gain to +3 is really good. Okay, there goes the Calyrex, probably back into Ensign. Yep. We are -1. It's okay damage. Turnus unfortunately does get parried. Volt switch off of the P2. Then back into Calyrex. This shows me he doesn't have Araquanid. Oh, he does have Araquanid. I mean, I think I just click recover. I go for Cosmic Power here. Okay. I don't think we live. Oh, we actually do. Interesting. Unfortunately, P2 is very dead. I really wish we had Ally Switch right now over, like, Ice Beam. I'm +3. It's gonna be really hard for him to punch through this. I think I just Sludge Bomb down the Araquanid at this point. Yeah, like, obviously we eat this. Poison. Never lucky. Again, we don't care about the stat drops. All we care about is getting boosted. Going to Eliki? Yep, okay. That's good. That's good for us. Unfortunately, we just kind of bite it here with Raikou. I think locking into Thunderbolt's probably our best play. Like, unfortunately, we don't get to pressure the Eliki, but we do get to pressure the Araquanid this turn. We'll go one more boost. Plus side of all this is he's not going to be able to, like, easily knock out my Eternatus anytime soon. Trick Room is over this turn. He does have speed advantage on half of his team currently. Yeah, I don't think we eat this. Oh, we do. That's very interesting. That's really interesting, isn't it? Man, Raikou's just kind of disappointing here. His damage output is not very impressive. Probably back into Ensign. Could be Shadow Rider this turn. Yeah. But now we get to play the game of stall out all of his PP. I am at full. Nope. I honestly think there's a non-zero chance we win this. He goes for Fake Out this turn. We just protect. Yep. Question is, what does Araquanid do? Leech Life. Interesting. So you should probably Parting Shot with the Instant this turn. We'll go for a Sludge Bomb into Araquanid, try to pick up the KO there. So outside of, like, Expanding Force crit, I think we're fine. It could protect. There's another Parting Shot. Again, don't really care. We're +4 or +5? We're plus a lot. We're +4. We'll go into the Eliki. Araquanid might just switch. He's playing to time now, which obviously is his, like, correct thing to do. Which, like, thanks to timer, I think we lose this game, but if this was on Showdown, we would win this game. Because, like, the games don't have a timer. But whatevs. That's also unfortunate. I mean, we do go back to full. And we can protect. Like, I do think, like, we win this game a non-zero amount of time, but thanks to the timer, we unfortunately are just going to lose. Calyrex has Snarl, very interesting. I really want to poison this Calyrex, make him sad. I think if we poison the Calyrex, we can actually win this game. So from there we just stall it out. This is where Toxic would be very good. It's like, obviously, we just never miss Toxic because we're a Poison type. And are able to just stall out the game that way. He takes a bunch of Toxic damage every turn. It's really good damage in all actuality. So Eliki's now on a timer. Araquanid might protect this turn. And if so, that's fine. We are not in any threat of hitting our timer. Whereas he is actually in threat of hitting his. Yep, that's fine. Oh no, my speed! It's broken! That's fine. Eliki is on a very severe timer. So I can ignore the Eliki basically. It can just go for Electro Webs and I don't care about that. I resist every hit that Eliki has. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot to really commentate on this game at this point. Like, our plan is get lucky, hit things. Poison? Hell yeah. Araquanid is now also on a timer. Nice recovery. But like, oh, that's actually in range to take that out. Very interesting. I thought that would live on just a smidgen. Like, we know his Calyrex has expanding force still. He can fake out this turn, so I'm just gonna go for a protect. I wonder how close his timer is, like, to actually running out here. I think if we can poison the Calyrex, we can win this game. I also just need to, like, not ever get crit. That really hurts. Please stop that. Poison? Never lucky. So yeah, unfortunately, I think we are going to lose this on timer, which is like one of the downsides of this team. I think game one, I made like 1 or 2 misplays, and like as a result, it is going to cost us the game. Just don't crit. Okay, we're fine. Don't get parried. It's so much recovery. Sludge Bomb. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, I get another KO. Heck yeah. I mean, barring no para. If I'm at -6, he can't switch. That's actually really interesting. I did not know that. Very, very interesting. And because the As One animation is going to take forever, unfortunately, we don't get to play this out anymore. But yeah, I mean, you can see how like we win this game on timer. The turn 1 para was obviously absolutely insane for us, but you know, this is a really fun match. I did enjoy it. I do think that we were very much in this game for quite a while. So that was a slog.
A slog and a half, if I can say so myself.
It was, yeah, that was very interesting. I think game one came down to basically me misreading like 2 turns, basically back to back, and that's what ended up like costing me the game. I feel like the damage output from Raikou was really disappointing, and I think that like was very obvious in both games, especially game two. I think game one, had I been able to effectively KO the Araquanid, I win that game pretty easily. But I was just never in a position to be able to actually deal with it. And the one turn I felt comfortable getting the KO is when you revealed Protect. And that really, really hurt.
Yeah, once you like set Trick Room for me with the Porygon, I was like really happy with my position because I got the Araquanid in. I don't think it was intimidated yet at that point. But like it was able to kind of do its thing. It was the slowest thing on the field. When I saw that you didn't bring Eternatus in game one, I knew Araquanid was my most important Pokemon. It was the only way I was dealing with the Quag. It was the only way I was really dealing with. Actually, I had ways to deal with the Quag. I had like Grass Knot on my Calyrex, which I'm sure would. I don't think Quag would have appreciated it.
So here's an interesting thing for you. My Quagsire is not min speed. It is not 0 IV. And had it been, I would have been slower and I would have got my recover off.
Yeah. I still, with the damage that the first one did, it probably would have KO'd anyway. But
probably, but like that was the entire reason I set up Trick Room, because I expected Quag to be slower. And it's not until I'm actually looking here at the speed tiers that I realize that my Quagsire is not 0 speed, and as a result, like that's why you undersped me in Trick Room.
Yeah, my Araquanid was 0 speed.
That's really unfortunate.
It was my only Trick Room answer. I really needed a good instant answer as well, and that was that. As you saw, I had multiple weaknesses to Incin. I had my Calyrex, I had my Indeedee, I had my Whimsicott. All don't really deal with it too well. If we went to a game 3, I was bringing my Whimsicott because it had fake tears on it. And that would have helped me a ton against your Eternatus in that end game, because that was really brutal. There was just so many points to where, even though I had the pieces and I was moving them around really well, conserving my my Pokemon, conserving my lead. Once I narrowed it down to Eternatus, I was like, okay, this isn't a bad spot to be. And then I started getting poisoned.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, that's really not good.
That's the end game goal. Is like, especially like once you put me down to like -6, I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna do damage. Like, poison is my only out here.
Yeah, that and crit. I was really afraid of a crit as well. And I was just like playing around, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me how much time we had left, and I was just freaking out about it, because that was really my only win con when I was seeing the damage I was doing. My expanding forces were doing more.
Way more than I really anticipated.
Yeah, but if I get poisoned on one Sludge Bomb, it's just over.
The play there is like, I need to like poison or like crit poison your Calyrex, I think is like one of my outs. And like your big out is just like crit the expanding force or hit 2 of them. Like either way, I feel like you just win, because
yeah, I needed 3, I think.
Yeah, it's like 2 plus chip, I think. It was really close. And that's saying something, because I was at +4, so
yeah, it was once that Eternatus really got itself set up. Like, you brought it in the back, which was really good on your part. I wasn't sure if you were gonna bring it in game 2, because like your game 1 plan wasn't bad. I saw the switch turn 1. Incin straight into Eternatus. I thought it was going to be Quagsire, and then it was Etern, and I was like, that's so bad. But then
immediately you get the Para, and I'm just like, oh, this is so much worse.
I was like, okay, this is not bad. This isn't that bad. The Para really didn't have too much.
No, it really didn't.
The best thing that it really did for me was let my Ensign be faster.
Which, like, you
Which
also had
was
Eliki for, like, speed control there, too. So, like, if you really wanted, you could have played the speed game.
yeah, I hit the Electro Web, trying to let my Araquanid be faster, and I was like, I know this Leech Life isn't doing a lot, but I wanted to see how much recovery I could get from it.
It's like 3 points or something
I got
absurd.
literally exactly 3 points. I don't know how much it did to you. It didn't look like your health bar
It
moved at
was
all.
very, very little. It was probably about 6 or 7, maybe.
I'm
It's just
shocked that it
like,
was that much. I
yeah.
literally did not see your health bar move on my end.
It's like, oh, that's laughably bad. Got it.
But yeah, once I saw the 2 minute pop up, I felt very confident in just pivoting. Um, but then I saw the parting shot not go through because your stats were already minned, and that was a really cool interaction
Yeah, I've
to learn about.
literally never seen that before in my life.
I was just trying to like let the Aleki come in, die, pivot the Ensign back in, so I at least had an extra turn with fake out expanding force. The timer ran out in that time anyway, so it was all good. But I wasn't like I'm not super confident on my timer rules. I'd really try to avoid it as best as possible because it's not that fun to play for 30 minutes and
To be
you know
fair, that one game was absurd.
it was that was an exception. There's sometimes where the timer games are just like where you're just like breathing so heavy and everything is so intense, but sometimes you're just like playing against a Porygon and they're just like, haha, recover, 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 recover.
Or your personal favorite, Chansey.
Or
That's.
that one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so happy that I didn't have to play against that at least.
I
I
think
had
the
to
next iteration of this team is cut the Raikou, cut the Bronzong, play Chansey Shuckle, and then just really
yeah,
make people miserable.
that really makes sense. Thankfully Series 10 isn't a thing anymore and hopefully they don't come back in Scarlet and Violet. When I went to that local I had to commentate multiple sets of Chansey Shuckle. It was both Top Cut games and oh my gosh, we were sitting there we were like up, and he goes for a soft boil. That's
And
crazy.
I even said it in like commentating here. It's just like there's not really a lot to say. I'm gonna click protect this turn.
There's not a lot going on here.
I'm gonna click Sludge Bomb into one of his slots and hope I get the poison.
On your end, it was like very just like straightforward. On my end, I felt like I was like all the mathematical formulas were popping up in my head. I was like,
it's the one GIF of just like countless.
just like, all right, how do I position my Ensign properly to where I can get it in and parting shot and not lose my Regieleki on this turn and move my Raquanin around and then get my Calyrex in to do some chip damage, force them into recover, then bring my Ensign back in, get the fake out, do this. It was just like so many flowcharts.
And
then it
mine's
was like,
just, did Ensign come in this turn? Click protect. If not, click Sludge Bomb.
and then once the timer popped up, it was just like it was like all those mathematical formulas just disappeared, and then I became who I was in high school and just or in college and just like math stupid, click button, do thing, switch Pokemon to you. Okay, cool, nice, good.
We did the thing. Hell yeah.
Just don't let two of my Pokemon die here because otherwise I lose. And yeah, I didn't, which was great. As you know, as I constantly love reminding you, I still have 100% record against you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Way.
You can't prove that.
Oh, I think I can actually.
Probably, but we're not going to today, so that's cool.
But yeah, Araquanid was great. Shout out to Adam Santacos because he's the Araquanid guy. And yeah, Araquanid really pulled through. When I was building this team, I was like, I had Tapu Fini in that slot for a little while, and then I was like, oh, Araquanid could be really good because it gets wide guard. And then for whatever reason, just like while I was building, it was just like the only person that was popping in my mind when I was thinking about using Araquanid was like, I wonder what Adam's gonna say about this. I hope he's hyped. So Adam, I hope you're hyped about me using Araquanid in the set because it really pulled its weight. It was amazing, especially in that game one.
Yeah, dude, it was very good. The like entirety of game one, I'm just like, I can just probably ignore that for a little bit, right? It'll be fine. Oh, he's switching. I'm dead. Got it.
It was quite literally my win con in game one. Once I
Yeah,
got rid of Raikou, I felt so confident with
for
just
sure,
keeping
for sure.
Rakumet around. Um, Especially after you showed that you were a special Pori with Shadow Ball. I was like, okay, I can just snarl this thing down and not have to worry too much about it.
I
Um,
also, uh, I was, I think in hindsight, the the Raikou was just not. I don't know, man. It felt really good in like testing initially, but in hindsight, I'm not sure if I would want Raikou again. Maybe just
yeah,
like reworking it. I don't know.
that makes sense. I mean, like having it with like more attack could really allow it to be, um,
More offensive,
very
yeah.
more offensive. It also just I was checking its scarf speed in the middle of the set, just like, all right, how do like is this thing faster than my Alecki? And it's just
Oh,
not,
nowhere near it.
even with
Nowhere
the
near it.
scarf.
I
It
get
even
to
max speed doesn't.
157, which I think
Oh,
is
you're
one
slow,
point.
slow.
It gets me to 235. Why is 235 relevant?
Yeah, I dropped my Indeedee speed a little bit, so I actually could have been faster than you to begin with, which would have been very good. I wouldn't have taken that snarl. Um,
I'm
but yeah,
trying to
Indeedee kind of just
think.
came out and didn't do anything. It did do enough damage to the Raikou to really make me feel confident in just getting the damage on it. You did well to preserve it in game one, but like once the Trick Room went up, and like you said, your Quagsire is actually not as slow as you thought it was.
Yeah.
Um, my Araquanid really just had a clear win condition of just ignore the Porygon, take out whatever's next to it, get that Raikou gone, and then there's just nothing that could really do the damage to it. And once I got my Incin to pivot around properly outside of Trick Room, get the fake out onto the Porygon and put it in liquidation range was I felt
Yep.
that was definitely game one over. But that game two was just a nightmare. Who would have thought that you would have gone to timer in this series?
I did.
Yeah.
I knew
I
from a
did.
start that I wanted to
I
play this for Series 10, and
I picked
like
this team. I
it's
used it.
it's so fun. It's so dumb. It's just like I get the giant I did it sticker.
Cosmic Power Eternatus is one of those like really cool things I tried early on in Series 10 when it first was released. I wanted to do not just Cosmic Power, but Meteor Beam Cosmic Power. But I just couldn't fit enough moves to where I could
Yeah.
cover what I wanted onto it. But I know that you use this for laddering at some point. I did build with this team a little bit in mind because I had a very strong feeling that you were bringing it, and it
I
still
can't
gave me
remember.
so many issues.
I think it might have been the episode I did with Dad. I mentioned that I was gonna play this, and I don't think it's out as of now. I think it comes out
No, it's
Sunday.
not yet. 'Cause
Um,
I watch him and I would have been like, oh yeah, now I know. But like I knew that this was like your favorite team from this format,
for
and
sure.
so I didn't like counter team it per se. I knew I wanted to use Cali Shadow, and I was like thinking like Cali Shadow plus Indeedee could be just a lot of fun to just do expanding force spam and like
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure.
that.
For sure.
And with whims like with fake tears and stuff, I was like, oh, this could be like really really cool. But I definitely had a feeling that this was the team that you were gonna bring. I didn't remember all the pieces besides that it was Stall Eternatus.
I had to go look
So
it up. Don't worry. I spent yesterday going through like home and my like cart account and just like trying to find all the pieces and like rebuilding it on Showdown so I could like rework it, and I'm just like I feel like I'm missing something but I don't know what. So that's when I threw on the Bronzong.
this team was it was just so strong though. The Stall Eternatus team, like it really does command so much respect, and I don't think I had like I was like, oh, the Eternatus, I'm just gonna stall it out, and it ended up becoming just like such a nervy game, especially once like poison started becoming a thing. Um, it was just like really stressful to beat in the end game without like timer popping up yet. I was like, that's the only way I'm beating this. That or a expanding force crit. And when I first did the expanding, like when I first clicked expanding force, I was like, that's got to be a crit. and then it didn't pop up as a crit. I was like, whoa, Calyrex, you're strong, man. Like, good
Like,
job.
hold on. That's a lot.
It was so much more than I was expecting. I was expecting it to do peanuts or the damage.
I know.
Um,
As soon as I saw it, my reaction was also that it's just like, oh no.
yeah, the specs were really, really good. It forced me to pivot really, really,
Mhm.
really heavy with it, especially when you had Shadow Ball on the Pori, Snarl on the Raikou, Incin who could KO it. I was fortunately um pretty like I knew my instant calc well enough to know that at -2 my Calyrex could actually survive a Darkest Lariat. Um, which didn't become super pivotal because you covered for Calyrex living
Mhm.
anyway with a Shadow Ball. But if you would have Shadow Balled the position next to it or whatever, that could have been
Could have been, yeah, a real bad
really big
situation
for
for
me.
me.
But yeah, this was a great set, tons of fun. Really happy to be here. Thank you for having me on, letting me play.
Of course,
I
dude.
miss this
Anytime.
format a ton.
Anytime. Do you, I guess on the way out, you should probably plug all your stuff and
Yeah.
call it a day from there.
All right, so my Twitch where I stream occasionally, I'm gonna try my best to start streaming more. Is jmcg1010. Twitter is jmcg10, and I run all the DPEC social medias. You should come and play DPEC. It's
It's a
really fun.
blast.
Yeah, Carter
There's
plays.
on their Twitch channel, you can go watch me and Flair play this morning, and it was so unfortunate.
Yeah, hopefully it'll still be there by the time this comes out because Twitch has weird VOD rules. But
Just go in and like remove that setting. You can change
okay,
it. Yeah,
I'll do that. But
or
the
just
Twitch
save
and
them and upload them to a YouTube channel.
True, I should do that. The Twitch and Twitter for that is daycare_PokeCup over there. I kind of run both of them, so you'll be able to see my beautiful face a little bit more often over there as well. And yeah, I think that's all my plugs.
Yeah,
Thank you
of
a
course,
ton
dude.
for having me.
This is fun. I really enjoyed getting to do, the thing that makes people a nervous wreck.
Yeah, you were like, okay, Chansey Shuckle make you a nervous wreck. Oh, I'm not gonna do Chansey Shuckle, but what I'm doing is almost just as bad. So it become an extra nervous wreck.
But I think it's about time we get out of here because your camera is frozen again. So,
Oh
that being
man.
said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week with some more of this fantastic series we got going on. So, have a good one, everyone. Peace.